This is Ben's very taken apart and decomposed BMW.
As you can see, we're missing a lot of parts and you can see some pretty heavy damage through here.
In this video, what we want to do is put the panels back on the car, but first we have to bend all this back and hopefully get that fixed that way, because if not, we're gonna have to resort to drilling out spot welds and replacing panels from our donor car.
That would be a hassle and a half.
So what happened was that this car was hit from the front right, just like that. And it pushed this panel right in, buckling the actual chassis right here. So what we want to do is pull back in the exact direction that this car is crashing. So that means pulling straight that way, maybe slightly up. In order to bend metal, you need to heat up the bend and then also tap it from the inside or from the other side with a hammer, just to release some of the stress as it's going back. Let's see how that goes. And if this goes wrong, we're gonna be replacing this.
To bend this part out, we're gonna need a lot of force. Thankfully, we've got the tractor in here and hopefully we'll use that to be able to get it out.
You need to put it on the jacking point.
What? Brother, you don't understand how terrified I am of not doing that. Don't do that. Before actually pulling the chassis, we needed to get the car off of its skates. Else if we started ratcheting it on, it might just pull it across instead of pulling the chassis out.
So this, lay it down like that. So that's about how far we're off. You just have about 2 inches to pull it back. Shouldn't be that bad.
Should be pretty easy.
Wrap this one.
This is fun.
Heat on high.
Oh, it's been 4 hours.
Here we go.
She's moving.
It's going straight. It's not perfect, but we do have, if you look at this piece of rod right here, a straight line that runs down here now.
Mostly.
I guarantee that when we take those off and it stays, that'll be spot on.
Bang!
It may be fine if we take this off and it doesn't move.
To test the repair, we needed to reinstall enough of the front structure to make sure all of the mounting points were in the right spot. This isn't us putting them back on for good. This is just making sure it's all lining up properly.
So far, the upper support as well as the crash bar were fitting. Look, the car's almost done. You can probably drive it after this. But that wasn't quite enough to prove to us that the front structure is square. So next up, the V-brace. The reason why it's so tight like that is because the front needs a lot of rigidity. We now need panels from Dave, which is our non-running BMW. So we're gonna take the fenders, the hood, and fit those onto this car, trying to figure out how square everything actually is. Make sure you comment on this video because doing so might get you a free t-shirt. On July 12th, we're gonna be doing a merch drop, and on that day, we're going to draw any comment from any one of the BMW repair videos and give them a free shirt. So make sure you comment down below.
We have a parts car.
And we are gonna be tearing apart this. In previous videos, we tried to get it going and it didn't work despite our best efforts. Most likely, the timing chain jumped or there's some sort of issue there because this engine is well known for that. But what we're gonna do is take out the front bumper. We won't be putting that on this car because we want something slightly more fancy. But we will be harvesting the fenders as well as part of the body here, maybe some of the suspension components and the hood, as well as the aircon condenser. We have a couple things we have to take off now that we have the front bumper. We're gonna have to remove the lights so we can get to this V-brace. And I did notice that this car has a significant amount of overspray all over it. So this car may have also been repainted at some point.
Just our luck.
The wheels had to come off so we could reach the dozens of hidden fender bolts. It turned the frustrating blind job into a much quicker one.
All we needed was L-big hammer.
From there, we worked through what felt like hundreds of small clips, brackets, and fasteners till both of the donor fenders were free.
Yes! Quarter panel 1 off. All right, we're just taking off the brace here to go put the quarter panels from this car onto the black car. Let's get this thing off. Turn it this way.
Look at that.
The little hook on the bottom.
Cool hook.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
How did you manage that? You could not have made it more of a mess there. So this hanger right here is what we really want. I got a really important piece, 73229-01. Look it up. Very important because it goes here. And without that piece, wind would whip through here and make noises coming into your cabin. So that is very important, that goes in there. So really a big moment for the build, isn't it, Ben?
The biggest.
Yep.
After the little tire pressure thingies.
Yeah.
That's the most important.
I guess the little thing we need to do is put the fender on. Let's go.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna start with the accent side. The structural braces had lined up, but the fender would show us where the exterior mounting points were close enough. Obviously, this red fender is not gonna stay on this BMW. We will paint it down the line, but first we just have to align everything up. You know where that goes. That one's easy.
This one's the one that goes right there. There, obviously.
Keep going, keep going.
There.
There we go. We will end up having to paint all of these, obviously. So for the big panels right here, we're gonna get those professionally painted. And for these, we'll probably just hand bomb them with some paint match spray paint.
Spray paint. All right, boys, we already messed up. These two are on the same bolt.
Ah.
So
that's why there's so much room. The fender points have a surprising amount of adjustments built into them. This helps when setting the final panel gaps. But it also means moving one bracket can throw off many other points. So we left everything loose and then gradually worked the panel into place. So most of the fender is lining up pretty well, but the upper corner on the damaged side was still fighting us. Either one of the brackets was sitting incorrectly or that part of the chassis needed one final adjustment. So after a little more adjustment, we finally had all the chassis bolts lined up and it was looking pretty good. It wasn't proof that every millimeter of the chassis was perfect, but it did mean that it was straight enough for the damaged side fender to fit properly. And voila, this side is on. That took us a little bit of work to get these all lined up and a little bit of tapping up here to get that lined up, but now we have some really nice body lines coming all the way down there. With the accent side fit in place, now we just have to do the driver's side, which should be pretty straightforward.
let's get this front bumper on.
Hood.
Let's get this hood on.
Harvest this from Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dave, for your nose.
Gotta tip down and then pull up.
Nice. Let's go.
Putting it back on. Nice. Just gotta slide the top in. Oh, it needs to come my way a bit.
So we have to line up the bolt with the worn part on the hinge and the hinge with the worn part on the hood for both the top and bottom on both sides. So margin for error, pretty high. Ready for the big moment? We're just holding out the suspense right now. Kind of like a drum roll going or like amped up music. As it gets crazier and crazier, we're gonna shut the hood for the first time.
And it's mega off.
There's some adjustments to do. With the hood on and the fenders fitted, a small difference between the two sides will become very obvious as soon as we closed it. When you're in an accent, usually you want to replace the hinges. This gap is a lot smaller than that gap. Let's go grab the hinges from the other car.
I love having Dave. Give me the small one. I like the small one better. No, give me the small one.
You're bigger than me.
Give me the small one.
You're bigger than
me. I want the small one.
The gap on the one side is much larger than the other side. This could mean that the front structure was slightly out, but that the original hinges may be also bent from the accident.
Ding. Mine came out really easily. The donor hinges brought everything much closer. The gaps will still need final adjustment before paint, but the hood, both fenders, and the structural braces could now be all mounted to the car. Because this car already needs a new front bumper, we decided to not replace it with a 2016 Grand Coupe front bumper. Thanks to ECS Tuning, they sent us an M4 style bumper. Look at this. Bum bum. Absolutely looks epic. It's going to completely transform the look of this car.
At the beginning of this video, Ben's BMW was still a very much taken apart car. Visibly bent front end, but now the structural braces bolt right onto the factory mounting points. Both fenders fit and the hood is back on. So for the first time we bought it, Ben's car is starting to look more like a car. The chassis repair is not perfect. There still is a buckle there, and we're gonna have to decide whether we can properly fix that in the future. But for now, it's straight enough for us to continue with our build. The dented arm isn't causing any issues structurally, but let us know in the comments what we should do. The fenders in the hood still need to come off and be sent away for paint, and we need to figure out exactly what is bent in the front right suspension. And then there's also a lot of interior work that we're gonna have to do, including airbags. So how much damage are we gonna find in the suspension, and will the BMW be able to drive itself under its own power? We'll find out in our next video on the BMW, but most of all, we hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't yet, please make sure to like and subscribe. and we'll see you in the next one.